hacks have their place too. For sure, their place is not to fix deep-rooted issues or to solve complex life problems, but they can help make dinner prep easier or dusting more fun and life just a smidge simpler.
Hi there, I'm Vanessa Kaiser, a ranch girl turned social worker, business leader, and now entrepreneur. I'm passionate about diving into organization, leadership, personal growth, and efficiency. Around here, we call it rhythmic living, that continuous cycle of assessing the season of life that we're in and creating habits, routines, and processes that serve us best. This show is for the busy, the dreamers, the tired, the go-getters, those who want to live fully, grow steadily, and feel inspired each day. Welcome to the Inspiring Heights podcast.
Here's the scoop. I love two competing things: sustainable, real, life-giving solutions, rhythms, and systems, and a good life hack. I love both. The thing is, all too often we reach for those quick hacks, hopeful that they're going to heal some deep problems. And then when they don't, we swear them off forevermore, or at least until the next time we're influenced by that one girl on social media who says that there is, in fact, a solution to losing 10 pounds in 30 minutes. But here's the thing. Hacks have their place too. For sure, their place is not to fix deep-rooted issues or to solve complex life problems, but they can help make dinner prep easier or dusting more fun and life just a smidge simpler. So here's what I've decided. We don't talk a lot about hacks around here, right? We're often more engaged in the long game, the solution, the rhythmic know your season kind of focus. But about once a quarter or so, I'm going to do what I call a free range podcast, which means it's unscripted, where I'm just going to sit down and share 5 to 7 or so of my current favorite life hacks. These are anything from kitchen to travel to communication and everything in between. So kick back, grab your favorite coffee, maybe a sticky note, because who knows, you might want to jot a few of these down for yourself. And let's go. Do you ever wish there was a natural, science-backed way to ease aches, boost your mood, and even support healthier skin? I felt the same way until a friend introduced me to LumiBox. Not too long ago, I was venting about long-time ankle pain to one of my girlfriends, and she encouraged me to check out LumiBox, a red light therapy device. She brought it with her for a girls' weekend because this is what it's like to be in your 30s, my friends. I gave it a whirl, and after just a couple of days, I can honestly tell you I was sold. That was the beginning of my journey with this incredible tool for holistic health. Now, LumiBox is a Kaiser family favorite. We use it for everything from soothing aches and eczema to giving our mood a gentle lift on tough days. Here's the deal. LumiBox harnesses the power of red light and near-infrared wavelengths to promote healing deep beneath the skin. Backed by science and loved by so many, it's a simple, natural way to support your mind and body. And for a short time only, LumiBox is offering my listeners an exclusive $260 discount. Just visit LumiBox.com and use the coupon code INSPIRINGHEIGHTS at checkout. Don't wait, this could be your next step towards holistic health. I'll put the link and the coupon code in the show notes. Okay, so in this first life hack episode ever that we're doing, I have 2 life hacks about onions. I know. I was like, I don't know if this is really how I want to start. But then I was like, here's the thing. There's a few things. Number one, we're coming up on onion season, right? Like onions in potato salad, onions in macaroni salad, onions on the grill, onions on your hamburger, hot dogs, all the things. We're coming up on that season. And so I feel like this is as good a time as any to talk about how to store onions. The second thing is, I grew up in a home where my mom really hated onions growing up. And so I just wasn't around them a lot. Like she didn't store them. We just didn't really have them much. And so when I grew up and discovered that I actually love onions, like love onions, which has been really in the last couple of years, and I would say my love of onions has just like continued to grow. I have like had to figure out how to store them so that my whole fridge and then somehow eventually my whole house doesn't smell like onions because I love them, but I don't want everything to smell like them. Yes and amen. Okay. Okay, so here is my first hack. When you are going to store cut up onions in your refrigerator, stop putting them in a plastic bag. Just stop it. Because you might as well just put the onion directly on the shelf in the fridge for all that that plastic bag is going to do for you. Nothing. Squat. Zip. Zero. Your whole fridge is going to smell. Your freezer is going to smell. And then your house, your kitchen is going to start smelling soon. So stop doing that. And instead, put your cut up onions, no matter how you cut them, put them in a mason jar and put a mason jar lid on them. That's how you store them. And then have like a little container that's labeled savory lids. This is what I have in my kitchen. I have a container that's labeled savory lids. So when I use a lid for onions, or when I take a jar lid off of salsa that I've canned and I wash it, it goes in the savory lid bin because it has a smell, because the seal is rubber. And I don't know if you know this or not, but you can't get onion smell out of rubber very well. Maybe if you soaked it in like vinegar and I don't know, baking soda or something, but your girl doesn't do that. She just has a bin that says, here are the ones I reach for when I need an onion lid. Okay. So that is my first onion hack. Store them in a mason jar with a lid that fits on the mason jar, not a plastic one, unless that's the one you're going to use over and over again and only for onions. Okay. Here is the second onion hack, and this has to do with storing them in the freezer. So first of all, I don't know if you know this or not, but onions freeze beautifully well, especially if what you're using them for is going to be cooked in some fashion, soup, sauteed, anything like that. They store beautifully in the freezer for a very long time. But there's this like misconception that I had for a very long time that if I was putting an onion in the freezer, it wasn't going to smell. And can we just stop and agree for a moment that that is 100% absolutely not true? It's just not true. They smell. Even when they're frozen, they smell. Okay? So here's what we do. We put onions in a plastic bag, if that's how you're going to store them, right? And then we put that plastic bag in another plastic bag. We double bag these puppies, right? That is what we do. And we label the outside plastic bag, right? And we say onions. And then when we go to use the onions that we have put in this double bag, we pull out the inner bag, we use it, throw that bag away, or do whatever you do with it. We all have different things that we do with plastic bags, right? But the outside bag, you can just rezip it, put it back in your freezer empty. And the next time you go to freeze onions, pull it out and put your inner bag back in it. It doesn't need washed. It's not dirty. Nothing has contaminated or touched it, but you don't have to keep wasting bags because it's not dirty, but also it was next to onions, so it probably does smell like onions. So this is your hack, and you can use it over and over and over again. So that is how you store onions in both the refrigerator and the freezer. You are welcome. All right, hack number 3. We're like totally shifting gears. If you're wanting to implement a new habit in your life, a new routine, a new habit, decide what the trigger is going to be for that habit to occur, right? So here's my example. Recently, I have started trying to implement 10 minutes a day of meditation to like make my mind and my nervous system be regulated and still. As I was learning about meditation and talking through it, I was so excited. Like, yes, this is going to be so great. And then for about 3 days, that's what I was thinking. Like, this is going to be so great. But then like, it wasn't happening. And then it would like happen in the morning, and then sometimes it would happen at night, and sometimes it would be in the middle of the afternoon. And so then I found that like it just wasn't happening. It went from not happening to happening, but not consistently. And so recently what I've done is like my trigger is bedtime. Like when I sit down in my bed to go to sleep at night, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes. And I have a whole rigmarole. I have a whole system worked out around it. I have the playlist ready. I have the time, like I can talk to my phone across the room because my phone's not next to me. Like we have all of the systems in play. But that actually wasn't the hard part. The hard part was finding the time of day that it happened every time, right? And in this particular instance, what I have found is that I sleep better when we are doing meditation right before we go to bed. This is not a plug for meditation, although if you are struggling with sleep and nervous system regulation, I would definitely say it's something to look into. But my point here really is that the trigger of bedtime has allowed for us to have a more consistent habit or routine. So, no matter what it is that you're wanting to implement, this trick of having that trigger, that thing that goes, when this happens, then I do this, will help set you up for success as you dive into that new habit or routine. Are you tired of setting goals and making plans that seem to just add more stress and chaos instead of bringing clarity and direction? The Strategic Reset is a 90-day planning framework designed to help you align your goals with your season, capacity, and values. Because when your plans actually fit your life, you can reach your goals, you can finish your to-do lists, and you can live a fully present life. Grab lifetime access today at inspiringheights.org/strategic reset. As always, I'll drop the link for you in the show notes below. All right, hack number 4 has to do with getting out the door on a really early morning. Okay, so I use getting out the door all the time in examples, right? Like I talk about it from a systems perspective. We talk about it from a knowing your season perspective. We talk about it from a preparedness perspective. We talk about it from all these angles. And do you know why I always choose this particular example? It's because I have really struggled with this for so many years. When I was in the workforce, particularly in after my husband and I were married, it took me about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on traffic and like what time I was leaving, to get to work. And so, and a lot of times we would have meetings like right away at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so it was like frequently I felt like I was really rushing and hurrying so that I wasn't going to be late for that meeting. And I would just so I would start my day at like a level 9.5 stress. And that's just like not the perfect way to start a day. And so I started really turning this around to go like, how can I make this better? Because there has to be a better way. So now my days look really different, and I very seldomly have to scooch out of here early in the morning, but not never, right? Like there are times where we are leaving at like 5:30 in the morning, and it's like, okay, we need to have everything ready. So I have created a hack for this. Everything that can be out is out, including the coffee mug I'm going to use. My water bottle has ice and water in it because it is not going to melt between now and morning, and it will be just fine. But if you're someone who's like real picky about that, and I know there are people, and bless you, you can just put your water bottle on the counter, right? So that you just have to, and the lid is already off. And so you just have to fill it and put the lid on, right? Whatever you're going to take for breakfast or for snacks, it's already packed. You literally just have to grab it. Like it's already in your lunchbox or in your cooler, in the refrigerator. It's all good to go. Your purse is sitting out on the table. Anything that you're going to need to take with you. Your clothes are already laid out. Your makeup bag is out on the counter in the bathroom. Your hair straightener is already sitting there as well. Anything that you can physically get out, it saves time, and it also saves you from having to think in, first of all, the early morning when maybe your brain's not fully awake. And also when you're in a hurry to get out the door, because if you have to get out the door at 5:30, chances are you don't want to get up at 3:30 to like be able to like do it in a leisurely way, right? So every decision and everything that we might have to remember that we can take off the table the night before will help us to be able to execute that with less stress and just with more precision, right? In terms of like getting the things that we actually need, not forgetting the important stuff, making sure we don't walk out without that cup of coffee. Like I said, important things, you know how it goes, right? So that is my trick. I get everything out I possibly can, even things that seem so silly, like these are the shoes I'm going to wear, and my shoes live by the front door, but I might scooch them out so that I have them, right? I make sure the tea kettle's full. I make sure the espresso machine has water and coffee beans in it. Like anything that possibly can be done is done. It just makes for a smoother early morning departure. All right, our fifth and final hack today. Decide once on birthday presents. Decide once on birthday presents. This is hands down probably one of my favorite hacks of all times. And I'm about to give you a whole bunch of caveats. So make sure you're listening. Make sure your ears are on and you're with me. Okay. Caveat number one. It doesn't have to be birthday, right? Like when you hear me say birthday, and as you mull this around, you think about what word fits there best for you. Maybe it's anniversary. Maybe it's Christmas. Maybe it is wedding gifts, baby shower gifts, kids, friends' birthday gifts, like whatever that it is. Make sure you have in mind what actually makes sense to you. The second thing is, I'm going to tell you something, how we do this, but then I'm going to share kind of the back end so you can see that this is not all or nothing. It's only to the point in which it makes sense. Okay, let's go. So this is something you should know about me as a gift giver. I love giving gifts. I love it. It is so fun for me. I love to think about what someone might want. I love to put together a gift, to research and cross-reference and try to find the best deal so that I can maximize what we're giving people. Like I find great joy in all of that. To be able to like bring joy in giving a gift to somebody. Like it's just there's a whole bunch of joy in all in that whole gift giving situation. But what I was finding as the years went on is that a lot of that time and energy I was spending around Christmas. Like I was pouring my heart and soul into Christmas presents. And then as the year then progressed on, like birthdays would kind of sneak up and I would be like, okay, so-and-so's birthday is in 2 weeks. What are we getting them? And I didn't have that same energy around gift giving that I did at, Christmas time. And so I felt like I needed a solution to sort of help ease that, so that whatever we did choose could be intentional and it could still be a joyful process. So here's what I did. For my nieces and nephews, we have decided, and we do this, I would say we've been doing this for several years now. And every so often they'll be like, oh, like we found this thing and we have to give it to them and it doesn't fit into this category. But by and large, most of the time, we give for birthday gifts for our nieces and nephews books and clothing. Books and clothing. Here's why. Books, number one, my husband and I are both quite avid readers. We love it. We love the adventure and the imagination, the creativity, the learning, the growing that can come from books. And so when one of their birthdays is coming up, we try to think about like what is going to meet them right in the season that they're at, right? Like, what are they going to love? What are they going to find funny? What are they going to actually crack open, right? And enjoy. And so that is our posture on books. And then the clothing part of it is also, it's a couple things. One, it's super practical, right? But it's also this way that we can sort of non-verbally through our gift giving show these kids that we love so very much that we see them, that we see their style, that we see their favorite color and their favorite baseball teams and their favorite princesses, and we see that, and we're with them in that. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just this, like, fun way to sort of say, "I see you." And our hope, I think, is that as they grow older, that this it sort of becomes this core memory with us, Uncle Ben and Aunt Nessa, to just feel seen, even if these gifts aren't, like wild and extravagant and like over the top, like fun. Our hope is that they feel very seen through them, right? But here's the back end of it, because there's a very practical aspect of this as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you what it was. It makes birthday gift giving a lot easier for me, and it also makes it a lot more enjoyable because I'm not scrambling. I'm not like, "Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start." Like, I just, like, my brain has not been in gift giving mode, and now it has to be because it's here in 2 weeks, and, like, what are we gonna do? Like, panic. I don't have to do that because I know where I'm starting. Like, no, I don't know the exact book I'm gonna get them. No, I don't know the exact sweatshirt or hat or hoodie or pants or whatever that I'm gonna get them, but I know the genre of the thing, the gift that I'm starting in, and that helps. That's enough. That's all I need, to make the gift giving both enjoyable for me and also meaningful to them. All right, now I told you I wanna make sure we walk all the way around this thing, so I wanna tell you what's also true about this gift giving thing. Birthday presents, the genre of them, are predetermined for my nieces and nephews. They're also predetermined for one of my sisters, but not the other, not my brother in laws, not our parents, and not my spouse. That's goofy, right? Like, what? Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Because I have predetermined the birthday gifts for the people in which it makes the most sense, right? Like, I know that they are going to love these things that we have predetermined. And I know that I am going to enjoy shopping and getting them together to give to them. I know both of those things are true in all of those scenarios. But for those people who are not predetermined, I don't have a thing. I don't have a like, well, every year I'm going to get them this, and I know that that's going to serve them really well and they're going to enjoy that. I don't have that because I feel like it changes every year. But for these certain people, it doesn't change. And you can call me crazy. You can call it whatever. But it's this is what it is, friends. And I'm not good at this all the time, but I have gotten it here. It's letting go of all or nothing thinking. Like, we have to predetermine everybody's birthday gift or we can't predetermine anybody's birthday gift. That's not true, right? And here's the other thing. There's a million and 10 ways you can predetermine. Maybe you predetermine by saying, I'm going to ask for a birthday gift list every year and I'm going to get something on that list. Or you might say, I'm going to give a gift card every year, or I'm going to write a check every year, or I'm going, like whatever. You can choose whatever it looks like for you to decide once on gifts. But I'm telling you, where it makes sense, it is wildly helpful. And where it doesn't make sense, you don't have to do it. Another place where I do this is particularly in wedding gifts. I am a wedding registry gal. I am a wedding registry gal. I tell you what. Um, Here's why. Because first of all, I want to get the bride and groom something that they need, something that they want, something that's going to serve them well in their home, because I don't want them to have to take it to Goodwill 2 weeks into, their marriage, right? Like, that's the thing. I want it to serve them. So, if I look at their wedding registry, I can already know that they put things on there that they want, right? Whether I think they're cool or not is kind of irrelevant. They think they're cool. They want them in their home. And so I know that if I hit purchase, I am serving them and they've taken out any guesswork for me. So wedding gifts are not nearly as quote unquote fun to shop for because I do have a list and I stick to it pretty well. but I do find it to be the easiest, and I also feel like it serves them the most. Now, you know where I don't do this all the time? Baby shower gifts. Yeah, that's funny, right? People people have baby shower registries, and I will sometimes peek at them. And I will sometimes buy things off baby shower registries. I have done this before when we were in a really close-knit community of people who were where there was a lot of young women having babies, kind of it was just that season of life. And we were doing a lot of baby showers kind of just pretty continuously. I used a baby registry then. Like I would follow that just to some extent. But here's the thing about baby gifts. I love shopping for baby gifts. I love finding the new swaddle blankets that have goats on them. I love the cute little outfits. I love I love it. I love it. I enjoy it so very much. And so I'm like, I don't actually need a registry. I got this. I know that you're going to need like 112 blankets. I'm your girl. Like I'm a 112 blanket girl. So I got you. And I don't really just want the blue one. I want the one with the cute goats on it. So I'm going to track that down and it's going to be so much fun. And every time you use this, you're going to be like, oh my word, goats are not my thing, but boy, this sure reminds me of Vanessa. No, so that's what I mean though. I say all this to you. I kind of tell you this long story to say, do it where it makes sense, but only where it makes sense. Because when you start putting hacks into place in places where they don't feel life-giving, and they end up feeling more complicated or boring than they need to be, they're not actually going to serve you very well. That defeats the whole purpose of the hack, right? So this is a good one to practice. Put it in place where it makes sense. Decide once on what gifts make sense and see if it doesn't make life just a little simpler. I loved this first life hack episode. So fun. So fun. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that some of these life hacks can help make your life just a little simpler.
And that's a wrap. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Do you have questions, comments, or insights on today's content? I would love to hear from you. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, or head over to our website, inspiringheights.org, and click on the Contact Us form. I will link all those locations here in the show notes. P.S. If you haven't already, I would love for you to leave a 5-star rating and a quick review of the podcast. This helps get our content in the hands of new listeners. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter and follow us on social media for rhythmic doses of inspiration. All right, friends, take a deep breath and be inspired where your feet are. Bye for now.